picked some very elegant elements into this. I've picked this suede type paper, which is like a flocked paper, and this really nice ribbon. And then this die cut, I've actually die cut out of silver paper, and it looks really nice. This die is a Simon Says stamp stacked die, and this is the package here, you can see. And I love this die. I really like this die. This is what it looks like, and you get both the frame and of course the little hearts from the inside. So you can do a lot with this die for varying projects and different colors. There's so many options for this die. So I made that, and then I photoshopped this image to be blue so it would match our background here, and then I've got this congratulations sentiment lastly. Now I kept some of these little white hearts from die cutting the frame in white, and we're going to put these every once in a while just to fill in the card a little bit. So to start out, we're going to put our ribbon in first, and to put the ribbon on, we are going to just flip it over like this, and we're going to add some tape. If you don't have Scotch tape on hand, you can just use a regular adhesive, but I like the tape because it makes sure that the ribbon doesn't go anywhere. So I'm just going to flip that over like that, and now that's ready to go onto our card base. So I'm going to go over it with this adhesive, and I'm just going to open my card base onto my grid paper and line it up. And then once that's on there, I'm just going to gently rub it onto place. So already that looks really nice. For the next step, this is the tricky part, is getting this glued onto here. So to adhere this, there's a couple different ways. You can use stick-it tape, which is an adhesive that you put on the back of this silver paper, and then you die cut it, and then the paper would be on the back, and you'd have this release paper, and it would be a sticker. And I didn't want to do that for this card because of this flocked edge, so I decided we would use a better adhesive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take a spare sheet, just some printer paper, and I'm going to flip the silver over, and we're going to start putting adhesive on this back. Now I'm going to use this matte medium. It doesn't show any shine onto your project, so if you get, say, a little bit over here on here, you're not going to see the usual shine you see from other adhesives. A lot of people talk about these ends that come like this, and I've had really nothing but problems with these, so I've decided to go back to the old method of using these sticks. These are disposable application sticks, and they're just these little brushes with these little ends. Then I can open this up like this, and then I can go right into the bottle and pick out some adhesive. And this is such a fine little tip that you can really get onto the spots you want. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dip it into my adhesive, and what I'm going to do is start putting it onto the little places on the hearts. Now this is going to be obviously more work than other methods, but again, with the flocked cardstock, you want to make sure it really sticks. I suppose you could try hot glue, but it might be really messy. This is why I suggest this matte medium glue. And then once I've done that, I'm going to move that aside, and you can use tweezers if you like. If you don't have tweezers, you can just flip it over with your hand, and we'll get rid of this now, and we're going to put this down. Now we want this pretty much centered on the card, so that's what we're going to do. We're just going to center it and put it right down immediately. So it's not going to stick down as well, so what I like to do is I like to put some acrylic blocks down. So I like to take some acrylic blocks and just push it down. This helps weigh it down and helps that the glue will dry. And I'll just leave this like this for a couple minutes so that that glue can dry. So while you're waiting for this to dry, you can just kind of push it down. Now if you don't have acrylic blocks, you can use something else that is heavy or flat, more importantly flat, and you can just kind of push it down. Now if you don't have this adhesive, you can use any other adhesive like this. Tombow would certainly work. Most wet glues would work. There also is a can of spray adhesive, and that works really, really good. I just didn't use it because I didn't think too many people would have that. So we're just going to continue to hold this down to really just make sure that it's going to stay put and dry firmly. So now we're going to take these blocks off. And once we take them off, we just want to make sure that everything is laying down nice and flat, which it is. You can always take and add a little bit of glue underneath if you need. For this next section of the card, we're going to take our image and place it down like that, and we're going to take our 4 little white hearts and we're going to decide where we want to put our hearts in. Now you can really put them anywhere. You can just choose where you'd like to put them. Okay, so I've just randomly put my hearts in, and I feel like I just want to have 3 hearts instead of 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have hearts like that. Everything always looks better in 3s. So I'm going to have the 3 hearts there, and then I'll be able to put my sentiment down here. So for right now, let's go back in with our adhesive. And again, I'm going to use more of this matte medium. And I'm just going to take this heart out of that hole. And I'm going to flip over this heart, and I'm going to put the multi-glue onto the back, and then I'm going to put it into that spot. Now I don't really need that there, so we'll move that out of the way, and I'll just make sure that's in there good. And this one, and I want to put lots of adhesive to make sure that it gets onto that flocked cardstock. And again, if you get too much of the multi extra places, it's going to dry matte, not glossy. And our last heart here. I'm going to put this heart into there, and then once again I'm just going to put the blocks on top because that's going to help those hearts really stick to the flocked cardstock. And in the meantime, I'm going to clean up my glue. So I've just left that for a few seconds, about a minute, and now I'm going to remove that, and there we will see those hearts are on there nice. So for this wedding image, I'm going to pop it up on pop dots just to raise it off of all of this beautiful cardstock. I've just got the backing off the pop dots, and I'm going to bring this into the center here and try to figure out where I want that sentiment. And I think I'd like to slightly cover the ribbon a little bit, so I'm just going to have it slightly over like that. And I'll put that down. And then for the sentiment, I want to have some on the image up here and then some down here. So I'm going to need pop dots on these corners, but not this one. So I'm going to flip this over and just add some tape runner to that corner, and I'm going to put pop dots everywhere else. So now that I have the backings off, again, this we've just used the tape runner and we've got the pop dots around the edges, and we're going to be able to put this down now, and we're going to want to just fiddle with it to make sure it looks right on the card and nice and straight. So that looks good, and we'll just put that down. So here's the sentiment on now, and just to finish up the card, I thought it'd be nice to have a little bling or something on this card just to add a little bit extra. So I've got these 3 bling. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add it in this top corner. It's my favorite place to put bling, is up in that top corner, and I just like how that brings that whole card together, and it's just such a beautiful image. I just love that die, that heart die from Simon Says Stamp. And I think this is just a really nice, elegant card, and it feels nice with the flocked cardstock, and it looks very pretty. So again, you could give this for a wedding or an anniversary, maybe somebody got engaged. This could even be a prom card, I suppose. So I hope you enjoyed this card and the card kit series. There will be more series on the way now that we're all settled and in our new house, and we don't have to worry about moving and packing. Now that we don't have to worry about that kind of thing, I'll be able to do more videos. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please check out the other videos if you missed them. And I just want to thank everyone for watching, and I hope everyone has a good day.